You mentioned a lot of businesses that you did, and when you read about it, you got a lot of things that comes up. I mean, it was some construction, plumbing, the list is a long list, right?
Drywall, flooring, you name it.
How many of them were legit? How many of them were not? Was it a split between
No,
the two?
they were legit.
Okay.
They're legit to the point that they're legitimate business. But I have control to push it in another direction. But I have the power to do that through unions, through jobs, through this, through that. So I have that power, and I'm bringing it to people who are around me.
People talk about how you ran businesses, whether it's the children of the deceased, fathers, or whatever it may be. Based on what they say, you can agree or disagree with this. There's a system. So a lot of times there's investment companies where they go in and their specialty is buying businesses and they're not doing good, and they build them up and then they keep and they take revenues. Was your system the following system? I'm curious to know what you're gonna say to this. System number one, step number one, find a local profitable business. Number two, give them protection. Number three, eliminate the owner. Number four, take over the business. Number five, show up to the funeral. Would you say that was
I never
partially
did any of
the
those
system?
things. No, no, that's ridiculous.
I'm curious to hear about it because that's been said by others.
I never killed a partner
Okay.
or a business associate. I never went into a profitable company and said, give me a piece and I'm going to give you a protection. I never did any of that. That's in the movies. That's not me. The government, after I cooperated, said, how come nobody ever fucking ratted on you? So it's the same question you're asking me in a different way. I told them, why would they? Don't listen to Gotti on that tapes. Who did I hurt? What did I do? Everybody I did business with was extremely successful with it. Very few of them I had even contracts. I had verbal commitments. I give you my word, you give me your word, you keep your books. Why? Why would I do it that way? God forbid you drop dead, your kids take it, I got nothing to do with it. I'm not gonna control your kids. Your kids own it. So we have no paper, don't even worry about shit like that. Unless your kids have problems and wanna come to me, then I'll talk to them. But I never bullied my way into anything. When I had the drywall company, I had over 200 carpenters working for me. A contractor will call me up, Sammy, I am so stuck. I need 30 guys. No matter who he calls, he can't get 30 guys overnight. I would go in with Joey Madonia. He needs 30 guys. We could shut down this and we could pull some from here and we could, good. Send them 30 carpenters tomorrow. How am I fucking hurting anybody? The guy got 30 carpenters. I'll give you another little example. I was partners with a Jewish contractor, a verbal. It's gonna give me 10% of the project. It's a small high rise, not a big one. The job is what they call in construction a bastard. Everything under the sun goes wrong with it. No matter what happens, they order nuts and bolts, the fucking nut don't fit in the hole. Everything is a disaster. Every little fucking thing that could go wrong, went wrong. So he calls me up, Sammy, we're gonna take a beating here, really. I mean, I know the job's a bastard, but how deep are we in the hole? My butler already's with me. Made guy, best advisor in the world for a snake of a human being. But what's the story? I'm gonna go in millions in the hole. Your end is maybe 250,000. Now, back then, 250,000 is 250,000 is a lot of money. Okay, we'll talk, we'll see. Let's finish up the job and see where it goes and how it goes. My brother-in-law, as soon as I hang up, you don't have to pay that. Why not? He's a Jew, what is he gonna do? He is Jewish, and he can't really do nothing. There's no paper, there's no nothing. You're right about that. But who the fuck is gonna ever do business with me again after I do this to this guy? Who's gonna do business with me? They'll do business, Sammy. You control the union, you'll be all right. I paid the 250,000. I put up my end. 2 or 3 months, I'm not exactly positive. Another fucking guy calls me up, another Jewish guy. He says, Sammy, I'm doing a project. I heard you just got hurt over there. Yeah, we took a beating. The fucking job, nothing went right. No matter what we did, it went bad. He says, yeah. I heard a number. What'd you lose? Well, if you heard the number, tell me, what'd you hear I lost? 250, 300,000. Well, 250 is the right number. I lost 250,000. He says, that is so fucking honorable for a street guy. I never met a street guy like you. I'm gonna give you a piece of my job. I want you to protect me with unions and this and that and the other thing. And you can come in with the drywall and this, that, and the other thing. Here's a guy in these stories that I go raping fucking people left and right. And I don't do that. That's why nobody ever ratted on me, except for John with his fucking big mouth. Nobody ratted on me. And I'm dealing with 15 different companies. I got unions up the wazoo. I don't back up like when I told you how I shared the fucking money. Everybody earned. The union delegate, the president, the vice president, the union delegate, the shop steward.
How many people did you have control of at your peak outside of union? I mean, judges, cop. I mean, who else was it?
No, I didn't have no judges or cops. I mean, there was cops, a couple of cops working that were, but I didn't have cops and judges. I didn't bribe people like that. I didn't want to get involved with people like that.
What's the story of the $60,000 to a jury? Was that a complete?
That's true.
That's true, the $60K to a juror.
Yeah.
Okay.
John was on trial. That's another thing I did for John. Every trial he had, I either threatened jurors or paid jurors or bribed jurors. I did everything under the sun. The $60,000 was the head of the Westies, a guy named Bosco, comes to me and says, Sammy, the head guy on the jury panel for John's trial, he's facing life. I could get to him. Really. All right, let's get to him. I want to talk to him. Let's get to him. I work out an agreement that I will give him $60,000. $20,000 up front, $20,000 in the middle of the trial, and $20,000 at the end. And after the trial, I'll get him a job as a Teamster foreman, and he'll be making $65,000 to $75,000 a fucking year because he was unemployed. I'll do all those things, and he'll become our friend. That's great, I'll tell him. I'll tell him a little bit more. If he reneges in any way, shape, or form, and he can go to the feds with this, I'll kill him. Once he takes that 20, he's got to be committed. He'll be committed, Sammy. I'll tell him myself. I know him. And Bosco's no joke. He went out of the country, was fighting in fucking Bosnia and wars. I mean, this guy was a fucking maniac. But we did that. So that's what we did in that particular trial. There's other trials. He had a trial where there was a guy in the carpenters union, and he busted up a joint. The guy who owned the place was a May guy. John sent a few of the Westies down to give him a beating. Instead of giving him a beating, the Irish kid, he shot him in his ass. Guy didn't die, but he shot him. Now the guy was scared to death. They were with the Genovese people. We went to talk to them. They didn't want nothing to do with it. Do what you want with the guy. We don't give a fuck. Now, the guy was going to maybe be a witness in the case of what happened. So I went to meet the guy. The guy came, "Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Who are you?" "My name is Sammy." Maybe you heard of me. "Sammy the Bull?" "Oh, you're Sammy the Bull?" "Yep." "I'm going to tell you something now. You're going to go in and you're going to say this had nothing to do with John," and I give him a whole legal argument of what to do. "You have two choices. You can go to the FBI and rat me out. I'll do a couple of years. I'm not worried about it. The next guy who comes will kill you. There's no saving you no more. Or you can run. Just run the fuck out of the state. But you don't have to. I'll always be your friend if you do this in the trial." That's case number two. John wants to sell me out after doing 11 months. Those are two cases. There's more.